You're a promising young talent, and it's a shame to see it go to waste on this doomed venture. Nope, I can't handle this. Not today. What do you want, Mr. Nami? If you need tokens, the change machine's over there.
A pity.
Tokens? How quaint. Still no swipe cards, eh? Sadly, I'm not particularly interested in your surprisingly cheap prizes. I can't see how you expect to turn a profit with such a ticket-to-prize ratio in effect.
No. I'm here to make one final offer.
No deal. Out.
If you sign over ownership of this arcade to me, I'll spare your careers.
Get your pruny, wrinkly hiney out.
Yes, even Miss Fairchild and Miss Wolf. I'm sure I can find something for them to do at one of my facilities. I want to support your rising star. That's what I've always wanted. We've had our differences along the way, but I want us to overcome them and thrive. But this is your last opportunity. I'll not extend my hand in friendship again.
I wouldn't even let him have this much of his of the monologue. I would have just cut him off and said, out, out.
If you don't agree to my terms, I'll stand idle and watch as everything burns down around you. You have my word on that.
Okay, obviously I want to say no to this fabulous offer, but at what point do I cut my losses? Miss Francine believed in dreams, but she also believed in practicality and trade-offs. Am I ready to give up everything so that I have something resembling a future? Heck no. No, I'm never giving up my dreams. Yeah, it's time to rethink my life. No. Of course I'm not giving up. I mean, seriously, I had so many opportunities to jump ship prior to this. Why would I bail this close to the end? No, now get the F out of my arcade. I'm afraid I must follow my own dreams, Mr. Nami. My resolve remains. I refuse your offer. Only if I get a $500,000 salary, 3 company cars, a Hollywood mansion, and my own line of designer fragrances. F yeah, I'm ready to sell out completely. I do have a few terms and conditions, however. I'm going to require, $500,000 a year, including stock options in Deco's palace. I'll need some cars, the kind you only see on fancy 80s cop shows, a 50-room mansion with a majestic overlook of the ocean, servants to feed me grapes, my own TV and movie franchise about my amazing exploits. And if you could throw in, your kidneys, that'd be great too. Kidneys go for a lot on the open market. So deal? Best response ever. Whoever wrote that, amazing. Amazing. I'll take that as a no.
So be it.
I guess I'll just have to settle for buying the burnt-out husk of your business once it ultimately collapses around you. I think you underestimate the damage being associated with the criminal element. The damage being associated with the criminal element can do, Mr. Angel. It's enough to ruin even the mightiest of arcades. Oh, is that foreshadowing for your own business, Deco Nami? Oh, and I doubt the ghost monsters have forgotten you. They will return, and they will make matters far worse for you. And immediately I take notice. Play it cool. Play it cool. Don't let on. Just test the waters. This is the part where I hope Iris is recording this conversation if she hasn't been recording this conversation this whole time. Really? Ghost monsters? I thought that gang was called Lovely Chainsaw or something.
Foolish.
Yes,
fool.
ghost monsters. Sadly, they insist on naming themselves after that absurd ancient video game reference. Of all the childish, immature. He shakes it off quickly enough, refocusing on me. But enough banter. I believe I'll take my leave. I'll not see you again, Mr. Angel. I'll let my lawyers handle purchasing that what little will remain of you. Good day. Once he's out of earshot, well beyond the confines of the arcade, I pull my phone to verify something. Iris, you checked all the news articles about the shooting, right? Oh yes, I've analyzed them all. Do you need me to pull up a specific one? Just confirm something for me. The ghost monsters were never mentioned by name in any of them, right? Yes, it seems Sue's friends are good at covering their tracks. Why? Then how did he know about it? This is it. This is the chance we need. Admittedly, it's a slim chance, but at this point, I'll take what I can get. Message everyone. I'm calling another Waketer-Conspiracy. Ooh, you're all fired up. Okay, message is sent. I'll need everyone's help to fill in the gaping holes in my plan, but at least now, I have a plan. It's time for one last ditch effort to save Funplex 2 Electric Boogaloo. So wish that Iris was recording that conversation. Why can't you go against our privacy terms for once, Iris, in an opportune time? Hamza's restaurant in the back of the arcade made for an ideal gathering place. We'd picked out one of the largest tables, one where we could easily speak to each other. Calm has returned once more after the very sight of Deco Nami caused a red mist of rage to descend upon Hamza. Can Hamza interest anyone in only the finest of spicy buffalo wings, or perhaps a diet soda? I'm good, thanks. Sure, I'll have a soda. Yum. This was it. This was where we'd make our last stand. I looked around the room, this is our war room, at everyone, at all my friends, and nodded to each of them determinedly. Okay, I know things are rough, but I've got, let's say, a good 60 to 80% of a plan for how we can turn things around. Like, we can all agree what happened wasn't our fault, yes? Someone else screwed us over? Every problem we face could be traced back to them. Turn around, every now and then I get a little bit lonely and I want... Sorry. The ghost monsters and lovely chainsaw may be to blame, but the court of public opinion puts the blame squarely on our shoulders. Our venue is tainted by their actions. We can cry foul all we like, but if there's even a chance of violence returning to our doorstep, it'll keep customers away. It's a real bummer. We haven't seen any families here since opening day. Parents just aren't willing to take their children somewhere that's known for being dangerous. Actually, I wasn't talking about the gangs. Today I learned who our true enemy is, and that person is Deco Nami. I thought initially that Deco Nami sent these people here.
Deco Nami.
The beast that wears human skin. Yes, surely he is to blame. Hamza is admittedly uncertain as to how, but Hamza is also perfectly willing to go along with this idea. I love Hamza. Earlier when he was taunting me, he slipped, mentioning the ghost monsters by name. Except those hackers keep their noses clean. They left us with no proof that they were even involved, thanks to our security cameras being wiped. The cops didn't go after them. The news didn't identify them. So, how did Deco know about them? Answer: Deco hired the ghost monsters to ruin our opening day. I mean, that's what I thought to begin with. What? Seriously? In hindsight, it should have been obvious. I blame myself for not seeing it sooner. I mean, you're a smart guy, Gavin. I'm shocked you didn't think of it sooner. Far too many coincidences to be otherwise, and the fact that they only started wreaking havoc once Mrs. Defame showed up to bear witness. I can see what you're throwing down, Hark. Sue and her friends didn't seem awful at first. I remember talking to Clyde, and they were very nice and friendly. And then Mrs. Defame showed, and... Oh my gosh, wait, do you think Mrs. Defame is involved? Considering she was willing to hold back her review, I don't think she's knowingly involved. But Deco may have gotten wind she'd be showing up and took advantage. But you don't think Deco wouldn't stoop that low, right? Hiring some random street gang to mess with us? Would he? Oh, he would. He's a spiteful bee. Of course he'd try to ruin our opening day. The only reason he didn't destroy Miss Francine was out of some weird sort of gentleman respect for a fellow elder business owner. But to Deco Nami, Hark is basically pawn scum. Thanks? To be fair, I doubt he orchestrated the bullet-riddled finale for the evening. That pushes plausibility. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the whole intervention with the lovely chainsaws was not part of the plan. His plan. True, he wouldn't have even needed a shooting to ruin us. The negative review alone would have done the job. Being even slightly associated with the gang would have been awful. If Mrs. Defame reported us as a hotbed of teenage chaos, a living reenactment of Lord of the Flies, it spelled doom even without bullets flying around. I guess we're lucky she held her review back. The problem is, we have no proof of this, do we? No way to tie Deco back to the most monsters, other than him slipping up and mentioning them to Hark. I doubt he'd ever admit to this on the record. Iris hasn't been able to dig up any digital evidence, although there's our eyewitness testimony, which should be enough to warrant some investigation. But for some reason, that doesn't seem to be enough for the police. I know a few of the local cops, and how they think. If they're not looking into the ghost monsters, odds are they're actually looking into the ghost monsters quietly, which admittedly doesn't help us in clearing our name. And it's too much to hope that Deco simply confesses to orchestrating the incident which ruined us. Ugh, that slimy bee's not getting away with this. I'll beat the truth out of him if I have to. As amusing as that would be, I wouldn't suggest it, love. We need to be smart about this and undermine him rather than take the direct approach. You mentioned having most of a plan, Hark. Care to elaborate? Well, if Deco won't confess his sins, we need the next best thing. We need his henchmen to flip on him. See, I sensed some tension from Deco about the ghost monsters. He called them childish and immature. There may be some bad blood between them. How about we break up their partnership? My plan is to track the ghost monsters, get them to turn on their employer, and confess to their crimes. Once the media hears it from Sue herself that the incident was all thanks to Deco's scheming, it'll clear the good name of Funplex Stew Electric Boogaloo. This plan is foolproof. I'm answered with a myriad of blank stares and blinks. Don't everyone congratulate me all at once now. Okay, so this isn't really me criticizing, but your plan, kinda sucks. You want us to track down a bunch of hackers we already can't find, and then ask them politely to betray the guy who's paying them a lot of money? Between this and the shooting, I'm worried your health insurance premiums are about to go through the roof, Hark. That's why I said it was maybe 60% of a good plan? Look, we don't have a lot of options, people. Right now, the only ones who can save us are the ones who ruined us. Deco and Sue. I'm confident that if I can find Sue and talk to her, I can get to see reason. Didn't you ban them from the arcade and tell Sue you never wanted to see her again? Okay, so we didn't start off on the right foot, but I'm willing to put money on myself for turning that around. I have my doubts, I'm afraid. This hinges on our ability to find Sue. Find an unfindable bunch of ghosts, ones Iris can't even track down, and that's where you all come in. All options are on the table. I want to hear your ideas for how we find Deco's hired goons. Let's fill in the other 40% of my plan and make this happen. And awkward glances back and forth are all I get in return. I get why they're concerned. This is the slimmest of hopes, the narrowest of margins. I'm asking them to follow me on a hunch. But I know this can be done. I know I can get Sue to give us the dirt we need to clear our name. Heck, some days it feels like all I do is talk my way through problems. If that's my one special skill, I'm going to rely on it for this final conflict. Now, if I could just find her. For that I need their help, and that means I need to motivate them like a true leader would. Come on, do we want to just let Deco beat us? Let's think outside the box. Way outside. We can outthink, outwit, and outmatch Deco. If we can't stop him, Deco's gonna ruin our dreams. Let's think outside the box. Way outside. No idea is too wacky for me. Show up at Sue's doorstep claiming to be from a sweepstakes, since she may already be a winner? Sure, why not? Find a radioactive spider to bite us so we can tie criminals up like flies? Sounds good here. Elaborate heist sequence requiring a herd of elephants, 2 blimps, and 84 feet of lubricated rubber tubing? Absolutely! Between all of us putting our heads together, we've got this. We've got enough brain cells to light up Chicago. We can do this. We can do this. Who's with me? You've got Moxie, kid. I'm in. Well, you only live once. Suppose I'll contribute what I can. Now we're talking. The wildest dance moves are always the hottest. Everyone nods in agreement, and I can even see some smiles start to appear. We're all on board. Now to just determine the how of the plan. Decision. Finding the ghost monsters.
Perhaps.
At risk of stating the obvious, why don't we talk to the police about this? They've proven unhelpful so far, but if we go down to the station and fully explain our situation, we may be able to gain the information we need. I feel this would be a reasonably steady course of action. I'm not certain about showing up and just asking for them to open their flies to us, but you're correct. I'm not certain about showing up and just asking for them to open their flies to us. Wow, Teo, wow. But you're correct. The police would have the information we need. Except cybercrime is a sticky situation. You have to control leaks. If they're looking into the ghost monsters, they won't just tell us outright. The key is talking to the right people. I know most of the cops at Ben and Matt's donut shop by name, and I knew one friendly officer that'll help us. Okay.
Nope, no way.
Why get the cops involved? We already know someone who's got an axe to grind against Sue and her buddies. Or rather, a chainsaw. That's right, Queen Bee. We can ask the lovely Chainsaw Gang. They'll be easier to find and would probably be thrilled to divulge all the dirt they have on the ghost monsters. Or they'll carve us up with switchblades. Could go either way. Yeah, let's go to the people who shot at me. I'll admit, this is a super gutsy move, but if we pull it off, we don't need to involve the authorities at all. This whole situation's a bit too sticky for my liking. Cops and robbers? No thank you. Although the alternative I'm about to suggest may be the stickier still. Hawk first met the ghost monsters at Deco's palace, yes? They're regulars there. So, we investigate Deco's palace to find someone who knows Sue and her mates. If we can find a good friend of hers and make them understand why we need to speak with Sue, well, it'd go a ways to mending fences with the ghost monsters if we approached on friendly and diplomatic terms, yes? I'm pretty sure if I showed my face at Deco's palace, it'd get mashed into paste by his private security goons. But my face wouldn't. Deco doesn't know me. I was Funplex adjacent rather than Funplex regular. And he didn't pay much attention to me when I was attending that business dinner with you. I'd hazard I could join her without any issue. My knight in shining armor. Yeah, we could slip in and ask around about Sue without anybody even noticing. I'd say this kindly strategy is an honest appeal to those who may know her. What could be more cordial? So we've got the logic, we've got the risky, and we've got the kindly strategy. And since I am like my largest stats are kindly and quirky, I feel like the kindly one is the one that I should be taking. What could be more cordial?
Definitely.
If she's got a single friend in that place, I'll find them. It's a daring mission in enemy territory, but for you, Hark, I'll do it. And plus, it'd be really cool to have both my roommate and my boyfriend participate in this. I feel like that would be very poetic. What are you looking at me for? I don't have any ideas. I mean, well, you could try Googling for her accounts. I'm reasonably sure Iris already tried that. Iris? Yep, I even used Yahoo, Bing, Alta Vista, and Webcrawler. Wow, look at all those TMs. I have no idea what half of those are. Okay, but that's not really what I meant. I mean checking online forums for arcade enthusiasts. She loves arcades, right? She may have an account there. I've been joining online communities lately to try to open up like-minded folks and socialize a bit more on my own terms. She's got to be lurking in one of those places. Oh wait, I know! If we can't passively search for her, we can actively call her out. As much as I hate internet trolls, they do get results. If we taunt the ghost monsters online, well, I'm positive Sue's the sort of person who looks herself up constantly, right?
A winner is you.
Of course, and with my help, we can establish fake accounts to spread the message so far and wide that she can't miss it. I'd suggest we use a public internet access point to keep it from being traced back to Funplex 2 Electric Boogaloo, though. Ooh, road trip. Road trip. I can tell from Gavin wincing at this that he's not a fan, but he's not a fan of Iris in general, so...
Good work.
I like this plan, Miss Naomi. It's pretty quirky, but it just might work. Well, I did say I wanted options. Involving the cops after all the semi-shady things we've done is risky. So is provoking a rival gang of armed hooligans. So is infiltrating Deco's palace. So is... Okay, posting a few troll messages isn't that risky given how many social media companies actually adore trolls and nurture them for advertising dollars, but it could annoy Sue. What's the best path forward? But before I can decide, Juniper raises her hand. All of these sound great, but Hark, you're still recovering from an injury. The less moving around you do, the more likely you'll heal nice and quick. You can't go gallivanting around the city chasing down rumors about the ghost monsters today. I'm just on crutches. I'm not on an iron lung or anything. I'm still mobile. Light duty only. Doctor's orders, remember? But I have a solution to this conundrum. It's simple and super effective. Let us do this for you. You've had to tackle all these problems since joining the Funplex by yourself. Why not step back and let us handle this one? Well, okay, but I need to be sure when we finally confront Sue. While you're out and about, I guess I'll get some rest, so I'm ready for tonight. Sound good? Sounds good. There are my friends. I trust them entirely, and I trust each of these options will work for getting us what we need. So now the only question is, which plan do I want to give my Hark seal of approval? It's gotta be the kindly one, because that's the one that I am strongest at in my stats. So, yeah. I'm gonna say infiltrate Deco's palace as Juniper and Percy. I can trust my boyfriend. I think our best bet is to keep things quiet. Not involve the police or criminals, not troll the internet, Just ask around for some of Sue's friends. Yeah. Sending my significant other to help fix this, 100% the way to go. Juniper, Percy, you two head off to Deco's palace and see what you can learn. It's less likely to backfire. At worst, you get arrested for loitering around the place, or you get your butts kicked by the security, I guess. Right, we'd best move along then. You can count on me, Hark. Nice. Alright. So, that's right. He could count on me always. Hark and I have been best... Oh, that's right. He could count on me always. We're getting this... Oh, this is so cool. I get to play as them? That's so cool. I love this. This is really unique. Hark and I have been friends for years, and he would be BFFs for many years to come. I knew I'd be by his side forever and a day. Okay, so I wouldn't be by his side today. I'd be at Deco's palace looking for clues, like a teenage mystery sleuth. But I was by his side in spirit. Hark is always solving all these problems for his other friends at the arcade, always going on crazy adventures and getting in trouble, all while I stayed on the sidelines. But now it's time for Juniper's Day in the sun. Or Juniper's Day under the fluorescent tube lighting anyway. I've never been to Deco's palace before. I went to Las Vegas once, though, and this place was very much resembled a bad off-strips casino. Pulsating lights flashing everywhere and constant chirps from the games, and not to mention that heavy smell of, like, greasy fried chicken. Not a pleasant aroma, is it? I noticed you wrinkling your nose. I don't really like junk food. I mean, it's all you can swing when you're poor and don't have much free time, but I prefer cooking proper meals myself, you know? Same. But the target demographic of Deco's palace adores anything deep-fried and or coated in sugar, you see. So, have you given it any thought of how we'll track down someone who knows our elusive ghostly friends, then? Simple. It's process of elimination. We're looking for teenagers, right? So we can rule out any kids or adults here. Plus, Sue and her friends are delinquents. We find some young miscreants, we'll find our contact. You're suggesting we wander up to random dangerous-looking teenagers and just start asking them?
Correctamundo.
It's foolproof. I think I may have a bit more scientific method in mind. When I visited Deco's palace with Hark, I spotted someone resembling Sue playing this arcade's version of Moopy. Of course, I didn't know at the time who the young lady was, but if she's a fan of Moopy, perhaps one of her friends may be as well. When seeking out a ghostly individual, first check their usual haunting grounds, I say. Ooh, smart thinking. Okay, you hang around Moopy, I'll poke around elsewhere and see what I can find. Text me if you hit pay dirt.
Be seeing ya.
Very well, I'll be in touch. I want to control Percy, though. I wish they gave us a choice between controlling... That would have been really cool if they gave us a choice between controlling Juniper or Percy. And then an hour passed without nothing. I asked around, but either nobody had heard of Sue, or they kind of went quiet and made an excuse to leave after I mentioned her name. Thought about, like, chasing down some of the folks who seemed to know something, but maybe I'm just not gutsy enough. I don't get it. Hark makes the sort of thing look so easy. I thought we could just roll up to Deco's palace, find someone who looked cyberpunky, and get the info. Bing, bang, boom, done. Instead, I'm nursing a watery iced tea at a soda fountain and poking at a basket of french fries, after complaining about the greasy junk food, of course. Well, do you? Huh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was asking if you wanted to refill on your iced tea. Oh, no, I'm good. Hey, do you know a young woman named Sue, by any chance? About this tall, lavender hair, like Smoopy? I have other customers to attend to, excuse me. Well, poop butts. Maybe I've struck out. I'll admit I didn't have much of a plan going into this one. I never have much of a plan, really. I couldn't even work up the nerve to leave that awful job until Hart gave me his approval. Like I couldn't lay out my own plan for my life. Being an independent artist is hard work, but at least now I have something resembling a plan for my life. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it. This is really cool. This gives me, like, by switching characters like this, it gives you a totally different perspective and, like, a far deeper understanding of Juniper, you know? Like, putting myself in her shoes. I think that's why I admire Hark. This is so sweet. Okay, so he needs a nudge now and then to get moving, but once he does get the let out, nothing stands in his way. I need that kind of energy if I'm going to succeed today. I need to not just sit on my butt eating french fries. I gotta get out there and make this happen. A notification from my phone snatched my attention, just as I was getting off my bar stool. Possible lead. Meet me at the Moopy game. This is it. My time to shine. Let's make it happen, Juniper. It takes seconds for me to get there. I can see Percy standing near some weird touchscreen version of Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze, which is being played by a little girl, standing on a step stool. I know that little girl. She played Wyvern's Keep.
I did it!
And if you hit the button, it makes the wizard man eat all the dots. Impressive. You've got wonderful timing, Miss Tia.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. That's her name, Tia. Where's Tamara? And thank you for showing me the spinny color game at that party, even if it was super boring. Miss Tia, this is my friend, Miss Juniper. Miss Juniper? Miss Tia here was telling me all about her best friend, Miss Sue.
What?
She was?
Definitely.
I mean, yes, I see. Sue. Right. Okay, this isn't what I expected. I figured my friend of Sue's had to be some rough and tumble punk, not like a cute little package of smiles and sunshine. How does the leader of a gang of thugs end up friends with a kindergartner? Still, this is my chance. I had to go for it. Let's see how would Hark handle introductions? Hi, Miss Tia. I'm Miss Terry. I'm very pleased to meet you, and I hope we can be friends. Hello, and how old are you exactly? Hi, Miss Tia. I'm a Miss Terry. Why, hello there, Miss Tia. I'd introduce myself, but I'm a mystery. Miss Terry. Get it? Really? Miss Terry? Oh, mystery! Hee hee! Well, at least I know I'm funny enough to entertain 5-year-olds with a very forced joke. Is that really your name? That's a funny name. No, I'm just being silly. Call me Miss Juniper, like the tree. I guess Miss Tree works too, huh? So, how do you know Miss Sue? Oh, Miss Tia was telling me that her brother is the chap we've come to know as Inky. I see. Is he around right now? The last thing we need is for one of the ghost monsters to notice interrogating our sister for information. Nah, I'm here with my big sister, but she got bored and went off to talk with her friends and drink milkshakes. We come to this arcade lots and lots. My brother usually ignores me too, but Miss Sue is always very nice to me and tells great jokes. And she loves Moopy. She can make the wizard man eat all the dots every time. She taught me how to do it. You just gotta kick the game right here and it'll look all funny for a moment and then munch, he'll eat the dots right up. I see. Well, Miss Tia, I was hoping to talk to Miss Sue today. Do you know where she is? Or maybe your brother? I'm not supposed to tell anybody. Miss Sue said it was a secret. Okay, Juniper, time to use those powers of persuasion. What would Hark do in this situation? I want to be friends with Miss Sue too. But a secret's no fun if you don't share it. What if Percy teaches you more Moopy tricks? Oh! What if Percy teaches you more Moopy tricks? I know. Mr. Percy can teach you even more about Moopy the Wizard Man. I don't know how to play this version of Moopy. Oh, well... Version? Oh yes, there's so many different kinds of Moopy games out there. There's the original arcade classic, this modern update handheld games, strategy card games, board games. I like board games. Great, Percy will give you his copy of the Moopy board game.
Pardon me?
He will. But it's vintage and still in its original packaging. This is adorable, I love it. Mr. Percy is very generous. Blink, blink. I suppose he is then. Very well, I'll give you my Moopy board game if you tell us all about Miss Sue. It's adorable. I don't know. Okay, I'm feeling very weird about tricking a little girl at this point. Hark sent us here so we could be friendly and diplomatic. Even if it'd be super easy to dupe this kid, I should be a little more honest. Miss Tia, the thing is, someone's being very mean to my friend, Mr. Hark, and we're hoping Miss Sue can help us. That's really why we want to talk to her. We want to be friends with Miss Sue so she'll help us against this bully. Maybe she won't want to help, but we have to try. Mr. Hark believes in being kind to people. That's why he sent us here, to find someone who's friends with Miss Sue so we can make all of this better again. Would you be willing to help us? If you don't want to, that's okay, we understand. Mr. Hark? He and Mr. Percy tried to help me when I lost all my tickets. I was so sad that day, but they helped me not feel bad anymore.